In the heart of Bavaria, near the woods of Groben, lay the isolated Hinterkaifeck farmstead. A place so remote it was practically forgotten, tucked away behind the town of Kaifeck. This lonely farmstead was home to the Gruber family, a household as mysterious as they were reclusive. Andreas Gruber, a stern patriarch in his twilight years, presided over the farmstead with his wife, Casilia. Their daughter, Victoria Gabriel, a widow with a voice as captivating as a nightingale, lived with them, along with her two young children, Casilia and Joseph. The Grubers were known for their solitude, preferring the company of their livestock over the townsfolk. This preference for isolation was not unusual in such rural parts of Bavaria, but even by those standards the Grubers were considered particularly solitary. Their farmstead was a lonesome island in a sea of wilderness, a beacon of human habitation in the vast expanse of untamed nature. Victoria, despite her family's solitary ways, was known for her beautiful singing voice and was a member of the local church choir. Her absence from choir practice one Sunday in the spring of 1922, therefore, raised eyebrows in the close-knit community. Her daughter Casilia, a diligent student, also missed school that day. Their absence from these usual routines was the first ripple in the calm surface of their secluded lives. As time went on, the silence from the Hinterkaifeck farmstead grew deafening. The mail began to pile up at the local post office, an unusual occurrence for the otherwise punctual Grubers. The tight-knit community began to sense that something was amiss. When young Casilia missed school on April 1st, 1922, and the family failed to attend church, neighbors started to worry. As days passed, the farmhouse remained eerily silent, with no signs of life. The usual hum of activity, the laughter of children, the hustle of daily chores, all seemed to have vanished into thin air. The Gruber family, known for their quiet, secluded existence, suddenly seemed even more distant. The silence was deafening, as if the farmstead was holding its breath, shrouded in an unsettling tranquility. Around the small Bavarian town, whispers of concern began to ripple through the community. The Grubers were not seen tending to their fields, their animals were left unattended, and their home was ominously quiet. Young Casilia's empty seat at school became a stark reminder of the family's inexplicable absence. For 2 straight days, she was missing from the classroom, her cheerful presence replaced by a void. The family's absence extended beyond the schoolyard. At the heart of the community, the local church, where Victoria was a well-known member of the choir, noticed their absence. The Grubers, despite their introverted nature, were a fixture at Sunday services, and their empty pews were a cause for worry. As the days turned into a week, the post office started to pile up with undelivered mail for the Gruber family. This was unusual, even for the reclusive family. The increasing stack of letters, newspapers and bills added another layer of mystery to the already perplexing situation. Concerned whispers turned into a chorus of worry. Something was amiss. The unsettling silence that had befallen the Hinterkaifeck farmstead could no longer be ignored. It was time to seek answers. And so the decision was made. A group of neighbors led by Lorenz Schlittenbauer, a farmer who lived nearby, decided to investigate. Unaware of what they were about to unearth, they set off towards the ominous silence of the Gruber homestead. Led by farmer Lorenz Schlittenbauer, a search party embarked on a chilling discovery. The search party's journey into the farmstead would haunt them for the rest of their lives. As they ventured into the property, the silence was deafening. A chill ran down their spines, a foreboding sense of dread enveloping them. The first port of call was the barn, an unassuming structure that held a gruesome secret. Beneath layers of hay, a horrifying sight awaited them. 4 battered bodies lay lifeless, their lives brutally extinguished. The victims were Andreas and Casilia Gruber, their daughter Victoria Gabriel, and Victoria's daughter, young Casilia. The brutality of the scene was shocking. The family had not just been murdered, they had been bludgeoned, their bodies bearing the horrific signatures of a mattock, a tool not unlike a pickaxe. It was a chilling testament to the extreme violence that had unfolded in this ordinarily peaceful barn. But the horror didn't end there. Inside the house, they found the bodies of 2-year-old Joseph, Victoria's youngest child, and the maid, Maria Baumgartner. It was Maria's first day on the job. She had arrived to replace the previous maid, who had left, claiming the house was haunted. Little did Maria know that her first day would also be her last. The crime scene was a chilling tableau of violence. The bodies, the weapon, the positioning, everything suggested a premeditated act. Yet the murderer had stayed, living with the bodies for days, feeding the livestock, eating meals, and keeping the hearth warm. It was as if the killer felt at home amidst the carnage, adding another layer of chilling horror to an already gruesome scene. The gruesome scene suggested a brutal end to the Gruber family and their maid. The Hinterkaifeck murders sent shockwaves through Germany, becoming a morbid fascination for many. The brutal massacre that took place on that fateful end of March in 1922 at the isolated Bavarian farmstead left the nation in a grip of terror and bewilderment. The Gruber family and their maid, all meeting their untimely end with a mattock, painted a chilling picture that would be etched in the annals of crime history. In the aftermath of the gruesome discovery, the hunt for the perpetrator was on. The local law enforcement swung into action, interrogating over 100 individuals. Neighbors, family members, and even the new maid's missing husband were under the scanner. Despite the extensive investigations, no arrests were made, and the case went cold. The lack of clear leads and the baffling circumstances surrounding the crime further deepened the mystery. Over the years, the case was reopened multiple times in the hopes of shedding light on this dark chapter. Each reopening brought with it a renewed vigor and fresh perspectives. Yet, the elusive truth remained out of reach. The identity of the killer or killers was as much a mystery as it was on the day the murders were discovered. With the passage of time, the Hinterkaifeck murders became a breeding ground for numerous theories. Some pointed towards the incest allegations within the Gruber family, hinting at a possible motive related to paternity. Others explored the possibility of a random act of violence by a wandering psychopath. The most chilling of these theories suggested that the killer might have lived with the victims for days after the murders, given the late discovery of the bodies. These theories, however intriguing, were mere speculations in the absence of concrete evidence. Despite a century of investigations and speculations, the Hinterkaifeck murders remain Germany's most notorious unsolved crime. The unanswered questions continue to intrigue both amateur sleuths and seasoned investigators, leaving behind a haunting unsolved mystery that has puzzled the community for decades. The chilling story of the Hinterkaifeck murders continues to captivate and horrify a century later. The unsolved crime, with its eerie details and haunting setting, has left an indelible mark on the collective conscience. It's not just a murder case, it's a chilling narrative that has seeped into popular culture, inspiring countless books, films, and even podcasts. The Hinterkaifeck murders, in all their gruesome detail, have become a symbol of the dark side of human nature, a testament to the horrors that can occur even in the most isolated and seemingly peaceful places. And the fact that the case remains unsolved only adds to its intrigue. It's a puzzle that has yet to be solved, a mystery that continues to baffle investigators and fascinate true crime enthusiasts around the world. Despite the passage of time, the Hinterkaifeck murders have not faded into obscurity. Instead, they've taken on a life of their own, becoming a haunting legacy that continues to resonate. The echoes of the Hinterkaifeck murders still resonate in the quiet Bavarian woods, a chilling reminder of a crime that remains shrouded in mystery.